Your virtual assistant is actually a human being. I'm not talking about one of those little boxes from Google or wherever that you talk to and turns your lights on and so on. But I've noticed on YouTube channels and on blogs these days, there's a tendency for people to talk about virtual assistants as if they're, and I hate this term, as if they're just task monkeys. On the end of an email and, you send them tasks and they get done. They're human. And let me explain how to have a much better relationship with your virtual assistant. That's what's coming up this week. Okay, so what do I mean when I say that a virtual assistant is human? Okay, so we're not talking about those things that turn your lights on and so on and do your shopping on Amazon. We're talking about virtual assistants generally based overseas in another country who are supporting you in your business. Now, I watched a video actually this morning, which kind of disturbed me. There was a guy talking about how he utilizes virtual assistants in his business, and I think he had 3 or 4, and he was using screen monitoring software so he could see what they were working on any minute of the day and could drop in and make sure they were busy. And the thing that really disturbed me was he said, I pay them X dollars per hour and they can work however many hours they want. And if they're not working, they don't get paid. And if they're sick, they don't get paid. I thought, what? Show a bit of humanity, will you? If you've got a virtual assistant working for you full time, and I'm not talking about, project contractors like on Upwork or Fiverr, do this for me, $10, do this for me, $20. I'm talking about a virtual assistant who's working for you full time. How should you treat them? Like any other employee in your business. Treat them fairly, with some humanity, and get to know them. Let me give you some tips on how to work with your virtual assistant. So, first of all, with things like sick leave and holiday leave, I'm talking about full-time virtual assistants. I have a big team in the Philippines, and they all get 10 days sick leave a year. They all get 10 days annual holiday a year. It's a legal requirement. And even, depending on what your working relationship is, my VAs are employees, so it's a legal requirement, and I would do it anyway. But depending, what your commercial relationship is with your virtual assistant, gee, you got to pay them even if they're sick. What if someone's off 3 or 4 days sick? They're not getting paid. They can't look after their family. Are you going to have someone working 365 days a year without a break? So please do think about sick leave and holiday leave. That they need it just like anybody else. I would also say, a lot of people talk about task management software and how do you manage your VAs and so on. Get to know your VAs, get to know them as people. And again, just like you would with people working in your organization in the same office. I mean, we're in August 2020 now. Everybody's getting used to working at home. So I'm here in Sydney, Australia, and a lot of big businesses, everybody's working from home, and they're finding it works really well. It's the same with a virtual assistant. You don't treat them any differently just because they might be overseas and working in a different office. You're working remotely, that's all. You treat them exactly the same that you would with any other work colleague. And part of that is actually building trust. And I've got a video on this. We'll put a link up there. Can I trust my VA? I think it's called. Trust is a two-way thing. And I think that's really important with any staff member in your business, be they a traditional employment model or a virtual assistant. You have got to show them trust and they have got to learn to trust you. And not secretly, but sneakily monitoring what they're doing on their computer and things like that. I don't know that demonstrates trust at all. I would much rather monitor people on their outputs, on the tasks that they've been delegated to do and to make sure that we're getting things done on time. I don't necessarily expect during an 8-hour day that they're going to be flat out for eight hours. Well, they're not, because they have breaks. But as long as the tasks are getting done during that day, that's the main thing. The beauty, once you've been working with virtual assistants for a while, is that you can actually then start to delegate the management of the virtual assistants. So if you've been watching a few of the videos on the channel, you'll know that I have, actually we've just hired another one, I have a personal team of 8. Although I do own a virtual assistant business with dozens of them, I have a team of 8 looking after me, and they help me run 5 different businesses. And my executive assistant in that team actually manages the rest of the team. And then we have a team 2IC who looks after the marketing stuff. So I don't have to manage 8 people on a day-to-day basis. I'll probably talk to 2 or 3 of them each day, but mainly I'm talking to the team leader, my executive assistant, and the team 2IC who's looking after marketing. So, you know, that's one of the beauties of having an expanding virtual assistant team, because they're going to take more and more off you, and then they almost become self-managing. The other thing, when I hear people talking about virtual assistants, you know, in blogs and videos and things like that, is don't think of it as a short-term relationship. Like you would be hiring anyone to work in your business, I always think this is going to be for a long time. Always I plan for the long haul. I'm not, you know, manage people with that intent. They're not here, you know, just for a few months, and if they don't work out, we'll get rid of them and get a new one. That's no way to manage people. You really want to be thinking about the long term, and how can we build this relationship together where we can both, you know, get something out of the relationship. You know, I'm getting help with my business, I'm boosting my business. They've got, you know, really good employment and opportunities. So I'm always looking at what else might they want to learn, and how can we kind of progress and promote people. And most people who join my organization or my immediate team, you know, they'll kind of get promoted, and then we hire in assistants under them. So think of it that way. They're just like regular staff. So VAs, virtual assistants, are human. Okay, please treat them like that. Now, if you have any questions on virtual assistants, do comment down below. I love to get lots of questions, and it helps me understand what people want to know about more. So happy to share my experiences over the last 8 years or so. And if you're enjoying these videos, why not think about subscribing? So just hit that red subscribe button, and if you hit the bell, then you get notified every time we have a new video coming out, and they come out on a Tuesday evening, Sydney time. So thank you for watching, and don't forget, virtual assistants are human, unless you're talking to one to turn the lights on. See you next week.